This is what always happens before precious metals boom. We're going to cover it in this video. We're going to talk about big news out of Donald Trump that I think will have a major impact on the precious metals as we move into the coming years and decade. $20,000 gold. It sounds crazy. I saw a post I'm going to share with you that was somewhat facetious, but as I dug into it, it makes sense that during our lifetime, we could easily see $20,000 gold, even higher. And you know what that means for silver. It's going to be a wonderful journey. We're going to do it together. Thanks for joining me down here in the basement. This is not possible without your participation. So thank you. Please subscribe to the channel. We want you to come back and leave a comment in the comment section so we have an opportunity to learn from you. Okay, guys, let's dig in and let's look at what's going on. Today's a big day. We got a lot to cover in the world of silver and gold, but let's go out and I want to talk about why this $20,000 idea for gold is not out of the question. As you can see right now, according to CNBC, we are up almost $90 in the gold market. But this is what I want to point out to you when we talk about getting to $20,000 gold during our lifetime. I want to pull up an all-time chart for gold. And I didn't realize this, but just 10 years ago, right about here, hold on, there we go. Just about 10 years ago, we had $1,000 gold. Gold has gone up essentially 4 times in value in the last 10 years. Now, I want you to think about the reason I'm bringing that up is, of course, we could go up another 4 times from where we are in the next 10 years, which would put us at 16,000. But I would argue even more, something more important that I don't think we realize enough is that right now, the situation we're in for the next 10 years is much more extreme than what we've dealt with over the last 10 years. The U.S. national debt, which we're going to get into, is way worse. Geopolitically, we're in a way worse situation. The world central banks are moving away from the dollar into gold. Now, world central banks hold more gold than they do U.S. Treasury. So to think that we can't get to $20,000 gold in the next 10 years, or to argue against that, or to say that I'm a gold pumper or a silver pumper, well, that's great. But just look at the facts. And I think the facts clearly demonstrate, I believe 100% that during my lifetime, I will easily see $20,000 gold. I believe I will easily see $600 per ounce silver. We'll see how it all plays out, but let's look at this tweet that came out that got this whole thing started. And I think actually this was meant to be facetious, but if we really dig into what this gentleman is saying, it starts to make some sense. And this came to us from Weimar Silver Baron, who said, breaking, okay, the government plans to revalue gold at $20,000 an ounce using massive fiscal spending, check, they're doing that, and inflation of the money supply over the next 1 to 10 years. And while at first we read that and we think, oh, they're joking, that did get, 80,000 views. So apparently it was quite a popular post on X. But when we think about what's going on, that may have been meant to be facetious, but really, right, what's that saying? Sometimes reality, fantasy is stranger than reality. To me, maybe it's not so facetious. And then we get this, right? We get this big news story coming out of the White House. What is this all about, right? Is this helicopter money? Trump announces a $2,000 and not a political statement tariff dividend to be paid to most Americans. So they're printing it's like what Ben Bernanke at the Fed talked about, 15 years ago, helicopter money. The economy's in bad shape, so now they're going to start dropping cash on Americans, but it's cash that we don't have to be dropped. It's cash that is going to come, right, as a result of the national debt. There's no way around that. That's the reality of the situation. We don't have it to give it away. And then there's more proof, right? Apparently, this next guy, he's one of the Fed governors that was put in place by Donald Trump. He comes out this morning with more proof of money printing, basically easy money, devaluation of the dollar. Let's look at this from headline from CNBC. Apparently, this is breaking news, right? Moran says a half-point cut is appropriate for December, but the Fed should at least reduce by a quarter point. That's Federal Reserve Governor Stephen Moran spoke on Monday on CNBC. It's breaking news right now, but now they're talking about a half-point cut in December. We weren't even sure they were going to cut in December at one point, and now we're having a Fed governor talk about a half-point cut. Guys, all of this, right? This is the only way. This has everything to do with the price of silver, everything to do with the price of gold as measured in US dollars. If you choose, and I choose, right, to measure our ounces of silver, ounces of gold, whatever floats your boat, whatever your fancy is. But if we choose to use the US dollar as the unit of measure, there's no way around at this point, right, that the dollar is going to not continue to lose value, and that as measured in dollars, the price, quote unquote, of silver and gold are going to go up. It's the only option they have to deal with the debt spiral, the situation that we find ourselves in right now. I know it wouldn't be a complete live stream if we didn't go out and take a look at the US debt clock just to hammer the point home. Here we go. And on your screen right now, you should see something that's fun to look at, but is really scary, guys. Look in the upper left corner. I'll get the crayons out. What the heck? And we'll use a bright green today, okay? Right there's our national debt sitting at 38 trillion US dollars, okay? Down here, I'm hearing people say that the interest on the debt is over $1 trillion now. According to the debt clock, it's right under $1 trillion, but nonetheless, it's the only option they have. So when we talk about this prospect for $20,000 gold, when we talk about the government dropping helicopter money on everyone, right, it just devalues the real value of the dollar, which, again, if we use the dollar as the unit of measure for the price of gold and silver, it will only continue to go up. I know we've been kind of stuck in a mental range, and when we hear things like $100 silver, $20,000 gold, it seems a little preposterous. But if we take a step back and look at what's really going on, right, the house of cards that's been built, and we don't like it. I want to throw that in there as well. I love my country. I love the founding fathers. I love what they stood for. I don't love what happened since around 1970, which has really devalued the US dollar, really hurt people who've saved money in bank accounts and CDs, that type of thing. I don't like it, right? And it's still a free country, and we can still express our opinions, but we choose to protect ourselves with silver and gold. All right, we got a lot more to cover. We're going to look at a 100-year chart of silver next. Before I do that, I want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mint. It's a silver mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, where you can buy unique world-class silver products that they produce. They're owned by First Majestic Silver, Keith Neumeyer's big silver mining company. So First Majestic Silver mines the silver in Mexico, sends it to Las Vegas, Nevada, where it's transformed into these 100% unique silver bullion products, and then it goes straight to you. From the mine to the mint to you, no COMEX, no LBMA, and it is, I think it's safe to say, the freshest silver you can get, right? Recently mined out of the ground in Mexico. You can check them out here. Let's go out to their website real quickly. We've got an unbelievable positive feedback. Hold on. Hey, somebody give me a 5x5, please. If you can see me and hear me, I screwed up and closed down the live stream. Uh-oh. Hey, if you can see me and hear me, please. It would be awesome. 5x5. Who kicked off on the plug? All right. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. 55. Okay. Hey. All right. 5x5. Thank you, guys. I hit the wrong screen and ended the live stream. Boy, here we go. All right, guys. I'm still here. Let's go out to First Mint. Hey, we're doing live streams. You know, these things happen. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Hopefully you can still see me and hear me. Here's the website, First Mint, from mine to Mint. But I've gotten great feedback from the community. You guys have loved everything you've gotten from First Mint. So thank you, First Mint, for sponsoring Ron's Basement. And all right, let's go look now. Make sure I can still see you guys. All right, we're there. We're back. Crazy times in the gold and silver market, crazy times down here in the basement. We never know exactly how this is going to go. It's a live stream. So I really appreciate you being with me, and I appreciate you pressing the subscribe button. But let's go look at a 100-year chart of silver, which shows us something very, very interesting. Hold on here. Here it is. Okay. And we are on the right screen. Make sure we got that up for you, which we do for your viewing pleasure. I enlarged this. This is a 100-year chart of silver. As you can see down here, starts all the way back in 1925. Things were steady, but what two key things as we're talking about the unbelievable. This spot right down here where you see silver first starting to take off. This area is right around the 1970s. That coincides, as you can see, silver, right, took off through 1980 from like, what, $1.50 all the way to $50 per ounce. But that coincides with the United States going off the gold standard. But what's more interesting when I looked at this, because it's been about a week since we talked about it, is this, guys, the unbelievable, beautiful. We need to look at it again. 1980, $50. 2011, $50. The cup and handle pattern starting in 1980, creating this massive cup, right, up to 2011. Then silver dipped back down again, creating this massive handle. And the beauteous, how can I make that so beautiful? I'll put a little star in there for you. The fact that we have broken out of a cup and handle pattern that started in 1980, 45 years, the most reliable, the most predictable, one of the most followed technical analysis chart patterns in the history of the world. And we're seeing it happen today. Hey, what do you say, guys? What do you say we go check on the silver price? Boy, we're all over the place. Let's go back. Hold on here. Give me 1 second. I can see you, but I'm going to be working in the background here. We'll go to CNBC because that's reliable in terms of giving us a good quote in the futures market. And here we go. All right. Let's go to CNBC. Let's get an update on the silver price. And then we're going to talk about a $100 silver prediction. Another one. Okay, that's the S&P. Wow, the markets are going up. Let's go to gold. Make sure I got you on the right screen. All right. Thank you, guys. Crazy day down here. Whoa, silver up $1.80. All right, we'll come back and check on this later. But the December future silver contract, $49.96. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Man, there's so much going on right now. It's hard to keep up with all this. Let's go and check on this. Our friend William Middlecoop, one of the most listened to voices. There we go. Make sure we got you up. Sorry, the computer's acting up this morning. And yes, we do. Okay, let's listen to what William says. During my presentation yesterday, I mentioned that silver could move to $100. This is the important thing, in a few days or weeks after the market learns about physical silver shortages. Okay. And then below that, we've got another. Okay, so that's William Middlecoop, who I think has hundreds of thousands, 180 178,000 followers on X. Okay, super respected analyst, smart guy. We are in historic times for the price of silver, no doubt about it. But then we've got this quote from Michael Oliver, who said, quote, and that was with Jesse Day. I forget the name of Jesse Day. Great guy, another great YouTube content creator. Had Michael Oliver on, and Michael Oliver said, quote, scrap my calls for $60 silver. We're headed to 100 to 200 in the next couple quarters. All right. Big analyst, smart people talking about how we are in a new paradigm, a new world for the price of silver. No doubt about it. But I do want to give some respect to, I think, probably the first person who coined this idea of us going to $100 silver. And that's Keith Newmeyer, right? And he took some heat for that over the last 10 years, because I've been following it closely. But he was the first guy who had the courage. I always called him like the crown prince of silver, to come out and tell us that he believed the silver price could get to $100. And now everybody's talking about it. So Keith, when it hits, man, we're going to have a big party. And we've all had faith in what you've thought. And a lot of us have thought the same thing for a long, long time. So it's going to be an interesting development here, guys, as we move out into the coming months, quarters, and years. All kinds of stuff going on. Don't forget the United States, right, just added silver to the critical minerals list. China is putting export controls on silver. We've got news from Australia. Did you hear this? New South Wales. Here, let's go take a look at this. It's crazy. And what they're saying about silver. Hold on here. Yep, here we go. All right, we're back. We're in action, basement dwellers. Hey, guys, again, thank you for being here. All right, hanging out in the basement, loving what's going on right now. Can you believe we're going to go check? We'll see if we get some luck by the end of this live stream, if we get silver to $50. But this comes from the New South Wales Resources. This is from Australia, critical minerals and high-tech metals. The critical minerals and high-tech metals strategy for 2024 through 2035 sets out a clear vision for New South Wales, right? Do I have that right? New South Wales? Hold on. Yeah, New South Wales to be a leader in critical minerals and high-tech metals. And then we go down here. It says this. The strategy has identified 5 priority metals for the state: cobalt, copper, rare earth elements, scandium, and silver. And basically what they're saying is silver is critical for the future development of the Australian economy, critical for the future development of renewable energy, everything electronic, you know, all of that. And then we get this from our friend Hamza Serne, Global Silver Alignment. First, China limits exports. Hold on here. There we go. First, China limits exports. China is limiting exports of silver. Guys, can you believe this? Then the United States adds it to the critical minerals list, and now Australia makes it one of their top 5 priority metals. 3 continents. Think about that. Think about China, how huge it is. 1.4 billion people. You know, they love precious metals. Think about the United States, economic superpower, now making silver a critical mineral. And then think about Australia, which really we don't give enough credit to, another economic powerhouse. It's happening right now, right before our very eyes. The world is waking up to silver and to gold. And guys, I tell you what, I promised you that we would go back. So let's see if we brought some luck to the silver market. Okay, we're moving in the right direction here. We're back on CNBC, $49.98 in the silver price. Look, obviously we hit some all-time highs, 3 weeks ago, $53, $54 in the silver price. I was really expecting that we would get down into the mid 40s and hopefully build a base, stabilize, right? But it feels like, for not right now at least, that the new base in silver was created around $48 per ounce, $49 per ounce. The next 3, 4, 5 weeks will be very critical as we look at the chart. And the reason why we look at chart, I was never a big chart guy. I was like, oh, chart patterns, blah, blah, blah. And look, they're not religion. They aren't 100% accurate, but there's something very interesting that happens in these charts. And we've seen it with silver over the last year, year and a half. And that is when the price consolidates, what's happening, when the price hovers in a certain area for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, what's happening is called consolidation. And what that means, it's very important, because what that means is the people who don't have a strong conviction, the people that aren't 100% bought off on the fact that silver could go to $100, could go to $200, could go to $600, they get out, they get scared, okay? But they're replaced by new buyers, by people who believe in the future of the metal. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out through the end of the year. And on top of that, as we've covered several times, there's some strange things going on between the paper markets, the make-believe, Fantasy Island silver, as we like to call it. The plane. Remember that show, Fantasy Island? That's what's going on at the COMEX and the LBMA. Hundreds of leveraged contracts on each 1 real ounce of silver. In the LBMA, by all accounts, in London is still a pretty precarious situation. And people are talking about December as being the key kind of breaking point when things could get, like, the hens could come home to roost. Hey, I do want to say thank you right there over my left shoulder to our friends at First Mining Gold. That's a stock I owned long before they sponsored my channel. They're a gold development stage company with 2 huge multi-million ounce projects in Canada. Spring Pool in Ontario and Duparquet in Quebec. This morning, they came out with some really interesting drill result news. And I also saw it's a lot of great insider ownership, some transactions there as well. So thank you to First Mining Gold for supporting the basement and enabling us to come together, us gold and silver investors, and talk about what we love. Guys, it's going to be a wild trip. What a day. Let's go look one more time. What do you say? And see what the silver price, did we hit the man? Oh my gosh. We did it, basement dwellers, right? Silver back at $50.03 for now, okay? Maybe we should stay on for another couple hours and see if we could get that all the way to $60 per ounce. Hey, be good. Thank you again for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment in the comment section so we can learn from each other. Okay, you don't have to agree with me. We don't have to agree with each other. It's a great way that we can learn. Number one, thanks again for being here. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you, yes, you, next time.